Good morning. This is a capstone and research 1. Research. Etymology. Researcher to go about seeking in Middle French. Researcher. Re plus searcher or searcher. All French. Research. What is research? Gathering of data, information and facts for the advancement of knowledge. Collecting and analyzing information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. Steps include pose a question, collect data, present answer. Research. Webster defines the term research as a careful and systematic study and investigation in some field of knowledge. It is careful and systematic since a course of action may only be known by first defining the condition that needs corrective measures, followed by an analysis of its background and effects. Importance of research. A quest for knowledge and understanding, an interesting and perhaps useful experience, a way to broaden the frontiers of knowledge, a way to improve quality of human life, a course for qualification, a career, an essential process for commercial success, and an ego boost for you. Characteristics of research: intellectual curiosity, prudence, healthy criticism, intellectual honesty. Intellectual curiosity: reflective thinking or inquiry, getting information as to novelty or usefulness, seeking question, constant reading, using experiences, creativeness, inventiveness, and testing hypotheses. Prudence: conducting the study at the right time, at the right place, wisely, economically, efficiently, and doing the right thing at the right time. Healthy criticism: doubtful as to veracity of the results, truthfulness of the findings. Intellectual honesty: honest in collecting or gathering data, arriving at honest results. Characteristics of research: empirical, logical, cyclical, analytical, replicability, and critical. Empirical: based on direct experience or observation. Collection of data relies on practical experience without benefit of the scientific knowledge or theory. Logical: based on valid procedures or principles, done in orderly manner, drawing valid conclusions. Cyclical: starts and ends with a problem. From conclusion and recommendation, many researchable problems pop up. Cycle is repeated but must follow definite format and style. Analytical: applying analytical procedures. Historical research, past. Descriptive research, present. Experimental research, future. Case study, past, present, future. Replicability: research design or procedures are replicated, comparison of similarities and differences. The more replication, the more valid conclusive results to arrive at. Critical: careful and precise judgment, establishing high level of confidence, 1% level of confidence, 5% level of confidence. Types of research: pure research, applied research, action research. Pure research, basic research of fundamental research, aims at discovering the basic truths or principles to add to a body of scientific knowledge. Applied research, application of scientific knowledge to the solution of problem, development of a new system, procedure, device, or method. Problem is identified, a new system is applied. Action research, decision-oriented research, application of steps of scientific method. Library research, field research, laboratory research. This is the classification of research. Library research, conducted in the library, shows that answers are available in the library. Historical research, past primary or secondary sources are available in the library. Field research, conducted in a natural setting, no change in the environment, applicable to descriptive survey and experimental methods. Laboratory research, conducted in artificial or controlled conditions or isolating the study and operationalized area. To test hypotheses, to control variance, to discover the relation between the DV or IV. Laboratory research, applicable to experimental, descriptive, and case study methods. Types of variables: independent variable, dependent variable, moderate variable, control variable, intervening variable. Independent variable. Stimulus variable determines relation to an observed phenomenon. Independent variable is manipulated. Dependent variable or DV. Response variable observed and measured to determine the effective of the IV. DV change when the IV varies. Moderate variable. Secondary or special type independent variable. To ascertain if it alters or modifies the relationship between IV or DV. IV affects DV, but factor C is suspected to modify the relationship between A and B, so C is the moderator variable. Control variable. Variable controlled by the researcher. Effects can be neutralized by eliminating or removing. IVA affects DVB. The researcher may control D or control variable because he cannot do many variables simultaneously. Intervening variable. Variable that interferes the IV and DV. Effects can either strengthen or weaken the IV and DV. IVA affects DVB. Intervening factor F might have an effect on DB. Steps to scientific research: observation and formation of the topic, hypothesis, conceptual definitions, operational definition, gathering of data, analysis of data, interpretation, test, revising of hypothesis. Conclusion. Research design: historical method, descriptive method, experimental method, case study method. Historical method. History deals with past events. Systematic critical inquiry of the whole truth of past events using critical method in the understanding and interpretation of facts, current issues, or problems. Uses of historical method. 1. Searches the past for solution to contemporary problems and needs. Throws lights on the present, gives people a sense of continuity of the past to the present, enables communities to grasp the relationship with the past to the current issues. Chronicles event of enduring worth upon people consciousness of unity and a feeling of the importance of human achievement. Descriptive method. Present conditions, purpose to find new truth, development of new instruments. Increased knowledge, new generation, new causal relationship, more accurate formulation of problem. Test questionnaires, interview, observation schedules, checklists, scores, scorecards, rating scales. Descriptive methods. Types of descriptive research: descriptive survey, descriptive normative, descriptive status, descriptive analysis, descriptive classifications, descriptive evaluative, descriptive comparative, correlational surveys, longitudinal surveys. Descriptive method. Types of descriptive research. Descriptive survey. Survey. gathering of data regarding present condition to prove the value of facts, to focus attention on important things. Questionnaire as gathering instrument, psychological and social aspects of research, facts and influences. Descriptive method. Types of descriptive research. Descriptive, normative. Normative. Ascertain the normal of typical condition, comparing results of local tests with a national norm. Descriptive methods. Types of descriptive research. Descriptive status. Answers question to the real facts relating to the existing condition. Determines the prevailing condition in a group of cases chosen for study. Stresses current condition with an implication of their idea that thing will change. Descriptive methods. Types of descriptive research. Describes analysis. Determines and describes nature of thing by separating it into its parts. Determines the kind, quality, proportions of parts that form a whole. Determines the composition, structure, substructure that occur as units within the largest structure. Descriptive methods. Types, descriptive research, descriptive classification. Natural science. Specimens collected as classified from phylum to species. Descriptive methods. Types of descriptive research. Descriptive evaluated. Appraises the worthiness of the current study. Uses questionnaire to evaluate. Descriptive method. Types of descriptive research. Descriptive comparative. Considers two entities not manipulated and establishes a formal procedures for gathering criterion data as basis to compare and conclude which of the two is better. Descriptive methods. Types of descriptive research. Correlative survey. Determines the relationships of two variables, x and y, whether the relationships is perfect, very high, marked, slight, or negligible. Perfect positive correlation with a value of 1.0 is seldom happen. Perfect negative correlation with a value of negative 1.0 is also rarely happen. Descriptive method. Types of descriptive research. Longitudinal surveys. Involves much time allotted for investigation of the same subjects at two or more points in time. Experimental method is a problem-solving approach. Describes what will happen when certain variables are controlled or manipulated. Natural sciences with limitation on fields of education, psychology, and sociology. Expected to reveal cause and effect relationships. Experimental method. Types of experimental method. Single group design, parallel group design, counterbalance design, pretest post-test group design, complete randomized design. Experimental method. Types of experimental method. Single group design involves single treatment with two or more levels. Mean and analysis of variance or ANOVA are statistical tools to be used. Mean determines the acceptability or effectiveness of a particular product. ANOVA determines the significant difference on the quality attributes of the product. Experimental method. Types of experimental method. 2. Parallel group design. Two or more groups are used simultaneously with only one design variable or control group is manipulated or changed. Experimental group is varied. Parallel group serves as the control for comparative purpose. Experimental method. Types of experimental method: counterbalance design, quasi-experimental design, rotation design. Involves an exchange of two or more treatments taken by the subject during the experiment. Latin square. Each variable in a form of square occurs once in row or column. Experimental method. Types of experimental method: pre-test, post-test, group design. Involves the experimental group and the control group carefully selected through randomization procedures. Pre-test is given to both groups at the beginning of the semester and post-test at the end of an semester, but the control group is isolated from all experimental influences. Experimental method. Types of experimental method: complete randomized design. A group of test plants or animals is studied only once. By subsequent treatment is applied to determine the cause of change. No control group, but the subjects will undergo randomization procedures. Case study method. A problem-solving technique that the study is described from the past, present, and future. Categorized under descriptive, however, it is more distinct if this technique is placed in another method which is independent with the other. An intensive investigation of a particular individual, situation, community, etc. Considered as a unit which includes the development, adjustment, remedial or corrective procedures that follow diagnosis of the causes of maladjustment or favorable development. Case study method. Cycle of case study method. Recognition and determination of the status of the phenomenon to be investigated. Collection of data relative to the factors or circumstances associated with the given phenomenon. Diagnosis or identification of causal factors as a basis for remedial or development treatment. Application of remedial or adjustment measures. Subsequent follow-up to determine the effectiveness of the corrective or developmental measures applied. So that's all. This is the capstone and research 1.